Can airline pilots make more than $1,000 per hour? Well, yes, but I have to put some context to that. Hello, my name is Carl Valerian. I'm the host of Aviation Careers podcast. And after my last video about pilot pay, I got a lot of questions and some comments about how pilots can make $1,000 per hour. Well, we need to actually put a little bit of context to that and help you understand what that truly means. Yes, it is true. Pilots can make $1,000 per hour as an airline pilot per flight hour. So let me get into that in this episode. But first, before we start, a lot of you are wondering where you can get some of those free scholarships guides. Our sponsor of this podcast is actually Stratus Financial. Stratus.finance helps people actually move into the career of aviation by helping them get loans. And you know what? They are pilots, so they understand being a pilot and also what your needs are, and especially for your loans. And they're also giving away a free scholarships guide. And you can use the coupon code STRATUS by going to aviationcareerspodcast.com/free. Use the coupon code STRATUS. Well, let's go into this, how pilots and airline pilots can make $1,000 per hour. And it's really simple. And yes, do I make $1,000 per hour? Well, yes, but it's per flight hour. I'm not going to go into how much I make, but I do want you to understand. So we're going to do some simple math here. And by the way, if you're going to become a pilot, math is important. Make sure you know your algebra because this is where it's important, figuring out your pay. So let's take a look at an airline pilot. A captain, not so senior, but a captain that's making about $300,000 per year. And yet captain actually only flies 250 hours of actual flight time in that year. Only 250 hours of flight time in that year. So that comes out to $1,200 per flight hour. See where I'm going with this? So yes, it's true that airline pilots can make more than $1,000 per hour, but when they're talking about that, it's more by flight hour. And this may be a little bit misleading, so let's kind of discover how. Also, I want to point towards how some people really do make a lot of money as airline pilots. There's a video I made, how to make $1 million a year as an airline pilot. People do. You do give a lot up as far as your quality of life. So let's kind of get into this as far as understanding getting paid even if you're not flying. Okay, so for instance, say you're a narrow body captain and a major, and I got some numbers here I'm going to read from. $320 an hour, say you're making as a narrow body captain at a major, which is fairly in the middle, that type of pay. You have a 70-hour guarantee per month on reserve. That means you're not actually flying, but you are working. So there's a really important distinction. And believe me, my friends kind of make fun of me about this, is the fact that I'm not really working when I'm on reserve. And what I always tell them, it's important to realize that, that fireman or that police officer that's not actually involved in a fire or a robbery doesn't mean they're not working. If you're on call as a fireman, you're still working. Just like if you're on call as a pilot, you're still working. I understand you're not flying, and yes, you can do other things while you're in your reserve. If you're close to the airport, which, by the way, is another good idea. If you want to make some really good money as an airline pilot, be close to the airport. So let's look at that person again that's making $320 an hour, has a 70-hour guarantee per month, and flew only 20 hours for that month. And say that person, and does that on an average, of 20 hours a month. So that person's doing $240 per year, and that's times $320. That's $268,800, right? And that's how much that person made, right? As far as hours and dollars per hour. So if you take that $268,800, divide that by 240 hours in a year, that's $1,120 per flight hour. And I tell you what, I've seen many first officers actually do this math and come up with that number. So this example includes, by the way, when we're talking flight hours, we're talking actual deadhead pay. And remember what I talked about before in rules and pay, soft time, soft time, soft time. I won't go into that too much, but that soft time is time that you get paid to fly when you're not actually flying. And that can actually build up your pay, which is pretty tremendous. Again, we work by the hour, but we get paid by the hour. But because of our work rules, we can actually make our pay become more efficient, right, and more productive. And that's where the next point is incredibly important. The most important thing you need to do is understand your work rules. Understand the work rules And understand this. It's not just about pay, it's about work rules. By work rules, what do we mean? Work rules are the contractual rules that we have that we work under as a pilot, either through the union contract or the contract with the company. And those rules define how much we get paid per day, per month, per year, and how much we get paid per hour while we're at work. For instance, say you have a 2-to-1 duty rig. That means that for every 2 hours you're at work, you're going to get 1 hour of pay at least. So if they bring you into work for 10 hours and they don't use you, you still get 5 hours of pay. See where this is going here? How you can actually build some pay and not actually fly. So when someone says, yeah, I make more than $1,000 per hour as a pilot, this is what they're talking about. So another point I want to make is this. The pilot that's making $1,000 per hour or claims that they're making $1,000 per hour, which they are per flight hour, may not necessarily be the pilot that's making the most money. So to really make money, you're going to wind up working hard and working smart, and those two combined will really increase your income tremendously. By the way, I don't want to make this all about money, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that I keep hearing people say that they make $1,000 per hour. And for those of us that do make $1,000 per flight hour, that is true, but it also can be very misleading. Most importantly, though, to me, is the quality of life. For instance, I'm here talking to you today, and I've actually worked today. I was in the Caribbean, in Puerto Rico, and was enjoying the evening, and then was able to fly back. But it's really a good idea to look at this job in a couple different ways. One, to have the pay and the benefits, and then number two, to have a great quality of life. There are those people that say that they're quality of life type of people, and then those are that say that they're pay type of people. You can have a little bit of both. You know, say you need to build that deck on your house, you know, go work extra hours until the deck is done, or you need to pay off your mortgage, etc. I do have another really cool video. It's how to have an amazing quality of life as a pilot and have a lot of days off. That's kind of what I like to do, is have bunches of days off, and I'm a little more senior, so I get a lot of vacation, and I really, really enjoy my life. And I get to do this and talk to you about how to become a pilot, not just an airline pilot. I know we talk a lot about that, but also all types of aviation jobs, because I really think this is a really cool industry where people are very passionate about it and has some really great benefits, like going out and flying to different places and getting paid to be there. A good example is, as far as lifestyle is concerned, I just got off a trip. I just came in off a red eye this morning. I got to go up to, I was in Times Square a couple days ago, got to see Macy's and the big displays there for Christmas and the Christmas market. Went to see my brother in New Jersey, took a train over there, had dinner with him, then went down to Puerto Rico, did a nice walk on the beach, had some great mofongo. You got to try it out. Great stuff out there. And then came back. That was a really cool trip because I got to see people and I got to do things and hung out with the first officer and really enjoyed myself. That's another cool thing about my job. You can't really put a price on that, but it really is a wonderful thing. But, you know, one other thing, too, is that if you are thinking about doing anything in aviation, I think one of the most important things to do is to get yourself somebody who can help you coach you along your process. And we do that here. aviationcareerspodcast.com/coaching. And we also do this little mentorship program that we have. It's a group mentorship program, and it's within that coaching. It's a group coaching session. We also have an online forum that's really cool. It's only $20 a month, and if you want to try it out for 1 month free, you can do that. Go to aviationcareerspodcast.com/coaching. Use the coupon code PAYITFORWARD for that group coaching sessions. If you want individual coaching, we do have that also, where you can talk one-on-one with me. But I've found that I've gotten so busy, I really love the fact that we can actually have these conversations and also have this online forum that we started. So go check that out, aviationcareerspodcast.com/coaching, and look at our group coaching sessions on the side. There's two different things, one-on-one and group coaching, which the group coaching now gives you access to that community. A lot of people that were in the group coaching didn't actually see that before. But I really think that the most important thing to do whenever anybody talks to you about this job, just like I talked to you in this session, you know, can you make $1,000 an hour as an airline pilot? Yes, you can, but it is defined as per flight hour, and it can be somewhat misleading. So understand that, yes, you're going to work a certain number of days, probably on reserve, and that $1,000 per hour can happen. You're not getting a straight $1,000 per hour. And you really need to put that into context. There are some people out there doing a great actually building their pay. And that's where I talked about how to make $1 million as an airline pilot in that video. And you'll have links down below so you can actually watch that. And also the other one, how to have a wonderful lifestyle as an airline pilot. But most importantly, when you're actually looking at anything in aviation, make sure that you don't just watch these videos. Take some action. Do something. Don't just keep clicking through videos online or listening and that type of thing. Stop, pause for a second, get out your phone, and actually look up some of these things that people are talking about. Maybe order a book, do some research online, and find out what you can find out as far as the career in aviation is concerned. But the most important thing is that you take those steps. Nobody else can do that for you. You're the one that has to get that license. You're the one that has to take that step towards your career goal. So do me a favor. After this is done, make sure you take one step today to move forward in your career and in your life. And I know that you will make it there faster than you think. Well, folks, safe flying out there. We'll talk to you again in the next episode.